That's serious pace, Brian. That's really serious pace.
Yeah, he's pretty quick. I just was, I'm really happy to see a bowler, generating that type of pace.
I mean, you spotted it right at the beginning. You saw a bowler coming, running really long yards.
Yep.
So you can expect that definitely.
Definitely. And he's got the correct body action. I hope he'll sort of maintain that. Because some bowlers tend to drop. They give it their all. I'm not trying to say at this level. But what happens is consistency is the key thing. In the air, he should be out. That is a dolly of a catch to mid-wicket. Take those catches, mate. So there we go. Mercantile, McLarens drawing first blood pretty soon. Bit of a nothing shot, isn't it?
Looking at that delivery, I just feel that was the change of pace. That was his slow delivery. It did not hurry as the batsman expected, so he was too early for his shot.
Obviously. Very well spotted. So he walks back, sad though.
The trap was very well set for the batter. A couple of quicker deliveries, hitting the batter on his helmet. He really set it up nicely and then came on with that change of pace with a slower delivery. Once again, the short delivery. A short leg was really placed well, waiting for that catch. And you couldn't ask for an easy catch when you're expecting one.
You said it a mouthful. You said easy catch. But what we've seen today in the catching, I'm not trying to take anything away from the fielder, mate, but please understand that if he dropped it, I wouldn't have blamed him.
Absolutely. There were so many catches dropped
exactly
during the first game.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to see that we had a clean catch taken. And looking at the body language of the Unilevers, in fact, in the field, they looked a bit composed. They looked a bit prepared for this game. Their body language looks very positive out, especially after grabbing that first wicket.
You know that today people talk about body language in the international arena quite a bit. And I just realized it works very positively when you are with a positive mindset. And cricket is always a game of positive mindset. Because that's why I think the psychologists start working on your mindset. That's why we do have psychologists in the dressing room. Because you can't go limp early just because you start making mistakes. Watch this. Oh, wrapped him on the pad. That was going down the leg side, I reckon. Oh, this team has two good, I would say, decent seam bowlers. They're pretty quick, aren't they?
Exactly. I'm recalling one of your statements from the previous game, Brian. You called Chamin Nawaz would love to have a player get wrapped on the pads during the first overs, and he claims that batter would be his bunny.
He works on him. Because, his theory was right. If you can't get bat to ball, mate, you're not there. Now I'll get you. I'll just get you, And
especially being a left-arm fast bowler,
yep.
Coming and bowling into a right-hander, especially over the wicket, that's one of the beautiful things you can see on cricket, that in-swinging delivery coming into a right-hander.
His in-dipper was deadly. Absolutely. Because he swung it late. He absolutely swung. I was talking to Justin Langer once. I think it was in Gaul. And he said, he's not very quick in pace. But I'll tell you what, he'll make you cry. You don't have your technique.
Very true. And that has been beautifully swung. One bounce into the square leg boundary for 4 runs. And
it's also a no ball, is it?
No ball called as well. Welcome boundary for Unilevers. In fact, the McLarens, is it? Or the
no, it was McLarens were batting, yeah. Basically, yeah. Unilever are batting, eh? Absolutely. Look at that no ball. I think he got slightly over anxious. And this is what happens. Need to control yourself. Stop going over the line. Oh, put away beautifully yet again. But is it in the air for a while? Oh no.
Poorly judged, Brian.
Absolutely. What was he doing? It was in the air for a while. Is it the cloud cover? I don't think so. There's no excuse in that. It's a cool morning here. but then he should have got to the ball, not wait for the ball to come to him. That's okay, bit of encouragement. These things happen.
The ball was up in the air for ages.
And then, he sort of almost duck-walked it, I think, in all honesty. So, well, part and parcel of the game. Catchers win matches, mate. Need to remind you. You need to take those. You need to make the batter realize that you're there to take these catches. Punched very, very firmly to deep extra cover.
Brian, intentions are very clear from Gayan Rupasinghe. He's just going to go after the bowlers from the word go. He's just throwing his bat all round.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what one would expect in this game. But the most important thing is try not to give. Now, yesterday, if you notice, some of the games they run like the swing and the miss that you and I noticed. All balls just wasted. I mean, you get bat to it, you can get a nick, get a single. Better get a single than give a dot ball to the opposition,
Spot on,
and that's why I say, especially in all forms of the game, you got to watch the ball. You can't sort of premeditate your stroke, can you? That's played very well indeed, but there is cover. Excellent fielding there, deep back of the point. And that's a rare field spaceman because he's got a backward point and a deep backward point.
Yep.
So this shows signs that he's bowling to his field.
He's taking the ball away from the left hand especially.
Exactly. And that's why he's got that cover. This is very good thinking. So McLarens 13 for 1 wicket. We are into over number 2. Sorry? Unilever's 13 for 2. 13 for 1, my apologies.
Talking about the left-arm bowlers, Brian, during recent days, I just can't forget that name. Mohammad Amir, he used to be a brilliant bowler during
Pakistani.
He used to be a brilliant bowler in his younger days. Back in 2009, if I'm not mistaken, he made his debut. He was swinging the ball into the right hand as no one could really read him. He was just 16 years or 17 years old.
I got the Pakistanis produce fast bowlers like we plucking mangoes in Sri Lanka, I think. I mean, it's amazing the amount of fast bowlers they produce. Just absolutely. I mean, it's such a talented. They are one of the most talented cricketers in the world. If they can get their discipline right, honestly, they could be a world force.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, Mohammad Amir couldn't make it a long way due to, once again, disciplinary issues. If not, I just feel he would have been a legendary bowler because even after he returned to the international arena after about 10 years, if I'm not mistaken, as we speak, that's a mammoth shot. That's really out of here, right on top of the roof of the pavilion at the Nalanda College Cricket Ground. One of the biggest shots we did see out of these 2 days.
Absolutely. He smoked it. He absolutely smokes it. Look at the replay. Now look, Iran. He picks it up from the middle stump, plays it on the up, because he knows for certain that the bounce is true on a matting pitch. Wonderful execution of great craftsmanship of how to hit the ball out of the grounds. Massive blow. You're right. That's the biggest 6 we've seen so far. He looks quite strong in stature as well.
Both players, I just feel they look really well built for those big shots. I don't believe that strike rate though, Brian. It's just 60. I'm really not agreeing to that.
I'm not convinced either. Yeah, you're right. After what I saw of his wonderful execution. So 2 overs have gone by. 19 runs on the board. So Unilevers have got themselves into quite a decent start. Now they just got to keep pushing. Target 100.
Lahiru Amarsekara looks a very, very decent bowler. 71 matches, 79, in fact, 80 plus wickets, best bowling figure, 6 wickets grabbed in an innings. It's going to be an interesting battle between the bat and the ball.
Outside the off stump, almost nicked it on that occasion. Gave himself some room. very difficult to judge some of the spinners from the angle that we are giving the commentary from. But bowling right arm round the wickets to the left-hander. He needs to get the drift in if he can, because there's a little bit of a breeze. If you can get a drift in, try and beat him in the air. That's a quicker delivery. Quicker delivery. Try and beat him in the air. Bowl to his eye line.
That's again a very good delivery by Lahiru. Getting that bounce, in fact, that's what's important. When you're a spinner, when you're getting that bounce, it really makes life harder for the batters to get underneath the ball.
Absolutely. But then there again now, the next ball he bowled it short. I suppose when you go to concentrate Iran on the bounce, you tend to bowl a little bit short psychologically, isn't it? I mean, so that could be one of the worries. So I rather see him go above the eye line, vary it a little bit, because as an off spinner, especially in this format of the game, you need to have your variation. Otherwise, they can thump you, you know?
Absolutely. I just feel something is coming in this delivery. Oh, that was a quicker one.
Absolutely. He tricked all of us. He tricked all of us. Wonderful delivery. End of the day, it's a dot ball. All that matters is that.
Oh.
Now that's going to be either called a no ball or a wide. Let's wait and see what the umpire says.
That was one too much tried, I would say.
Yep. That's a wide. Yeah, it's a wide.
The point is, Brian, I'm just feeling that Lahiru is just a bit worried to throw it up there under Gayan Rupa Singh's eye line.
Yeah. Strong possibility. Fair statement. That again, bowling short. Yeah, I think you're right. You got it spot on. That's why he's bowling short. Because I think he saw the last 6 that he executed. So, Gayan, I can't afford to give you a freebie, mate. I'll bowl short. There you are. I think Gayan I think he's very effective on the front foot with the batter. I think they have found out that. So, that's the end of the over. 23 have 24 runs for the loss of 1 wicket at the end of 3. Thank God it's a little bit cool today, no?
Yeah, it is. Yesterday it was a lot hot.
I then stood down to the shower. I didn't feel like coming out. I heard my wife, my God, Brian, for God's sake, man. What the hell are you doing there, man? I can still hear the shower open. I didn't want to come out. Right, the team cards. Here we go. Unilever, Abhay Nayaka, Asanka Silva, Buddhika Hera, Jaya Surya, Damindu Iranga, Bandula Vansa, Rupa Singha, Rajendran Bandara Kapila, and Pitwala. I hope the team card will come up again for you to read the name of the Unilever boys. Let's see.
The previous over was a very productive over from the point of view of the McLarens. Just the 5 runs given away. Looking at how he bowled, I just recall, even though he's a leg spinner, in fact, Rashid Khan used to bowl in a similar fashion. He used to bowl it fast, flat, expecting that bounce.
Yeah, but talking about leg spinners, I don't know how I missed Rashid Khan's name out of the equation. Another great leg spinner of our time. Good delivery, nice and quick. Oh, but it's a wide. Yeah, Rashid Khan, but then sadly he didn't have a very good IPL season this year, Mehran, because his franchise expected more from him.
What makes him really unique is the pace he bowls. Rather than the other leg spinners, he tries to bowl it really flat and fast. He hardly gets any kind of turn. It just keeps going on with the arm, in fact.
The angles.
Yep.
That's where he makes a difference. I mean, the angles he bowls, and he's a very intelligent bowler. You have to realize one fact that, especially if you're a leg spinner, the basic idea is, I mean, you look at Vanindu Hasaranga, more often than not he tries to buy wickets, but it's not a wise idea, especially with the broad bats that you have these days. So you can be hit out of the park, right? But Rashid Khan was a wicket-taking bowler. he went after you. He wants you out.
Exactly. He's a very hard competitor. Even there in the outfield, the way he feels, the way he runs around, he's an enthusiastic player. He's very, very competitive.
I mean, he's a class of his own, isn't it? And no mug with the bat. God, you get him on the wrong side. He can plug you, man.
I remember watching a couple of the Big Bash matches. He won them couple of matches. He comes around right at the end and swings his bat around.
Exactly. I mean, and all some say, unorthodox, but Big Bash will tolerate it because, in Aussie, Big Bash is very competitive. He was fantastic. I've never ever met him in person, but I was told that he's a wonderful, jovial cricketer. Always smile on the face.
Brilliant delivery by Yoshida. Yoked him almost. Just another run added to the total, taking the total up to 28. We are into the fourth over. I just feel Unilever might need to put the foot on the accelerator. They can't afford
to waste. They've been kept quiet, but quite a decent bowling unit, I can say. They've got, so far we've seen 2 seamers and a spinner, isn't it? My memory serves right. 2 seamers and a spinner. The third seamer. He's the third seamer, basically, yeah. Now, those are little blind shots. He can do himself a favor by watching the ball onto the bat. Try and play through the line. Get yourself a single.
That was one of the scenes, Brian. I'm not sure if you caught that. Giving that wild look into the batter's eyes once you grab the ball on your follow through. But Harshatha was very wise on that occasion. He did not give contact. He just looked away. We were talking about this yesterday. I believe during Glenn McGrath's incident.
Yeah, the Aussies anyways keep staring at you.
Looks like it's going to be paid off. Just in front of.
Yeah, the Aussie style is, they are different on the field, but off the field they are different.
Yep.
They always, I remember, we used to call him PG. PG told him once, I think, somewhere down the line on the cricket show. I said, Glenn, you could be horrible on the field, mate. He smiled and said, yeah, but I still buy a beer after the day's play, And that's the Aussie mentality. Look, you played hard because it's not a kiddies' birthday party, is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's the game. It's all inside the ring. Once you walk out the ring, you're all back to normal old friends.
Exactly. That's taken on the half volley, driven by then straight to the fieldsman at mid-off. And do you know that Jasprit Bumrah yesterday took 3 English wickets in the first test up at Headingley?
Yep.
And England ended the day on 209 for 3 wickets, and all 3 was taken by Jasprit Bumrah. I've still to see a seamer of his class in recent times.
Adding one more stat to that, Brian. Jasprit Bumrah is now the highest wicket taker in Asian countries, in the SENA countries.
Absolutely.
Walking into SENA countries, the highest wicket-taking bowler from Asia.
What a bowler.
147 wickets, if I'm not mistaken. I read through that article last night.
I'm awful at statistics, I must admit. But when I heard about the 3 wickets, I thought to myself, he's been playing T20 cricket for some time, and he's had a back surgery as well. Actually, his wife, she's an anchor. She anchors cricket. I forgot her name, but then... and she's a great encouragement to him. He said that in an interview that it's nice when your wife can talk cricket,
Yep.
Because she's a cricket anchor herself, so,
We have another spinner being introduced, and looks like that's a 6. Yes, it is.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, where did he pick up that delivery from, I reckon? He might have picked it up from the off stump, is it?
Looks like, let's look at the replay, but that wouldn't be the best angle. But looking at that shot, he flat-batted it, grabbed it outside the off stump.
Brilliantly executed. So this is good cricket. This is what we are here to see. We want to see I'm sure the television viewers want to see executions of this magnitude. Now that's a wild swing. That's not what we want to see. Swing and a miss. We're into over number 5, 36 for 1. So McLarens have their work cut out. They need to try and target that 100-run. Oh, it's in the air now. This is a nothing shot. Absolutely nothing shot. And easy grabs. Well, wonderful 6 in the earlier delivery. Play the dot ball and see what happens.
We have witnessed this couple of times during yesterday and today, Brian. You get hit for a 6 and the very next delivery or a delivery later, you manage to grab the wicket. It looks a coincidence though.
Absolutely. I mean, okay, right. Look, I mean, we are talking about semi-professional cricketers. But don't get overawed by when you clear the boundary line. The sign of a good batter is not to get overawed. Okay, you got a loose ball, you put it away. But remember, the next ball could be a wicket-taking delivery, you know. So your intent must be, I mean, have a positive mindset. But then, I suppose you to play the bowling according to the merit, no matter what format of the game you're playing, you know.
The new batter walking in, Dulan Abhinayaka, looks a very, very big build individual once again. A left-hand batter should be very interesting because Dinal is a left-arm off-spinner who will be turning into Dulan's arc.
Yep.
The deep mid-wicket and the deep square leg fielders might have some work as we speak. Oh. Just as I predicted, right over deep mid-wicket, all the way she goes for 6 runs.
Brilliant. I was just about to tell you when Abhinayaka walked into bat, it brought back nostalgic memories of my classmate Ranil Abhinayaka, you know, as a cricketer. He was a right-hand batter, left-arm, wonderful bowler, you know.
That's slapped again and dropped. Oh, you can't be dropping these catches. Especially after being hammered for a 6. You can't afford to drop a player who looks dangerous out there.
He looks very dangerous. The 2 executions we've seen so far, and both towards mid-wicket, looks very much typical left-hander. Very strong on the onside.
Easily recalls the memories of Thisara Pereira, the great Sri Lankan player that has been flat bowled fast. Unfortunately for the wicket-keeper, he fails to contact, and that will be 4 by runs, as we told yesterday.
Yeah,
as long as it comes, we don't mind
how it comes. It doesn't matter how it comes, as long as it comes. I mean, yeah, talking about Thisara Pereira, you just opened the gates for me. He was another big hitter of the cricket ball. Right, look, I mean, when he gets going, but the only problem Sangha is to always, I remember Thisara, we used to call him Panda.
Yep.
That was his pet name.
Yep.
Panda, just control it Panda a bit, you know, because he can go hammer and tonks, you know. Wonderful player. I remember him from his school days, alongside with Angelo Matthews. And I was that time reporting for the MTV, NBC networks, and I used to cover a lot of school matches. And I never thought that Angie would end up being a specialist batter because he was more of a bowler during his school days. He looked more of a bowling all-rounder when he was playing for his alma mater, and then later on turned out to be the other way around, a batter.
Absolutely. And recalling the memories of Thisara Pereira, he was introduced, I would say, to the cricketing world during that finals in 2011. He scored 22 runs off 9 deliveries. It just popped out of my mind during the last match where that last batter who walked out managed to score 22 runs off 9 deliveries.
Yeah.
Exactly recalling those memories back in 2011.
I remember.
Oh, that was a different kind of a shot he was trying to play. He was walking all over the batting crease.
You know, Iran, you can expect this type of improvisation or even more in time to come. That's what the game demands, you know. But there are certain strokes like the Dil scoop, which is dangerous when you play. I mean, I told you even yesterday, but Dilshan himself has told me, right? Let's watch this delivery first. Oh, bowled him. Neck and crop. That was a good delivery, in line, on the money, disturbed the timber. And the umpires will have some work to do now. Yeah, so I mean, Dilshan was telling me that to play the Dil scoop, you got to have a very good eye. Because you're basically blinded, isn't it? So,
Absolutely.
And I mean, I would never expect a coach to bring a stroke out like that from the coaching manual.
Exactly.
Because you're blinded. Those are improvisations. And so many of the T20 strokes, obviously, I mean, you can't teach a child to do that. It's got to be in him, you know.
Exactly. So I remember Dilshan during one of his interviews, he used to say he used to practice it a lot using the tennis ball. He used to watch the ball right until the very last second and makes contact with the bat. And when he played that first shot, I think in 2009, I remember he played it against Mitchell Starc in Australia. It went all the way for 6, and the wicketkeeper was shocked. He was I guess, sledging Dilshan from behind the stumps because they had no answer for that shot. You can't set a field for that shot.
Because if an Aussie wicketkeeper doesn't sledge, well, he's not Aussie, isn't he? Right? But there was one exception. I don't think Adam Gilchrist. Oh, God, that's another good stroke. That's another huge, big hitty. 2 mid-wicket for a 6. Sometimes it rains 6s here, and all of a sudden... But we've seen more catches being dropped than 6s being hit today, I think.
Very true.
If I might be too sarcastic in what I say, but then, look, that's what I noticed. Yeah, I mean, you're talking about Adam Gilchrist was not much of a talker. His bat did all the talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
God,
it was a pleasure to watch, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, I watched him all over the world.
Matthew Hayden and Adam Gilchrist opening the batting. You can't ask for anything better.
I mean, Matthew Hayden, I thought, was a little bit, what can I say, a little bit more limp when he used to bat with Adam Gilchrist because... another good stroke. But there is cover. The batsman will take 2 runs.
Oh, that was a suicidal run out.
Suicidal run out. Oh, of course.
That was not required.
I mean, the fieldsman had the ball in the hand. Cardinal error, cricketing error. Never run when the ball is in the hand of the fielder. Right, you're not...
He was batting really well, Brian. That was really not required.
Absolutely, I can't understand. I mean, just watch it on the replay. There they go. It goes straight into the fieldsman who had to run. But the ball was in his hand when he took the second run. This is bad cricket. Very bad cricket. Anyway, what's done cannot be undone. Look, Matthew Hayden alongside with Adam Gilchrist looked a little bit limp. That's because of Adam Gilchrist's repertoire of strokes. I imagine, but when Kaluvitarna and Sanat Jayasuriya opened batting, they would have gone man to man because both had the same mindset, you know. But if Sanat was to bat with a batter who's more technical, the technical batter would have gone limp, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. You could definitely record of Marwan Athapattu and Jayasuriya opening the batting.
Yeah, but then that was unique, you know, because like at one end you're bowling at a technician of the highest class, right? And to get him out is like, you know, trying to bang your head against a brick wall. And while Jayasuriya, on the other hand, God, you pitch it somewhere short. Look at the boundary line. Don't look anywhere else, please. No, because he'll hammer you, you know.
Absolutely. There's all nostalgic memories, cricketing memories back into this game.
I used to always think whenever Sanat is batting, I'll come back to that after this delivery. Taken on the full plate rather uppishly, but then there is fielder covering that deep extra cover arena. Only a single. Right? I mean, imagine the fieldsman, especially with Sanat Jayasuriya batting, fielding at back of the point.
It's a nightmare.
Nightmare. I mean, you bowl short, he'll break your fingers for you. I mean,
he slaps at it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fantastic power, you know.
I was watching one of the highlights. I'm not pretty sure. I think it was back in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure you might be remembering this match. Sanat Jayasuriya gave a dolly catch to backward of point against the bowling of Britley, which was dropped.
Yep.
And then he went on to score a massive century.
Yeah, 101. I remember I spoke to Sanat on that match. And he said, Passe bole penuna. Which means, you know, he said, I started seeing the ball well. What a player he was. What a master crafter, you know. he changed the entire complex of, we call it the power play overs.
Absolutely. Even before it was introduced, I guess.
Exactly. I mean, there's a strong thought to say there was this New Zealand player, I forgot his name.
In 1992, I guess that's the player you're referring to, is it?
Yeah. Is this? Yeah. Can you get his name?
I can't recall his name either.
Yeah. Was it? Can't remember his name. But then they say that he started punching it around in the power play overs first. And then, of course, Sanat took over after that.
But it's really sad that we haven't had a Sanat since then for Sri Lanka.
That was a golden era, and I was very lucky that I was more often than not in the com box in that era, you know.
That shot!
India and clears the fielder. What a great shot on the back foot. That's absolute power, Iran. I mean, just look at the way he got on the back foot, put his weight on the back foot, and just pulled it to glory. Beautiful six down the cow corner. Wonderful execution. This is great cricket.
Harshant has just faced 3 deliveries, and out of those 3 deliveries, he has already smashed 3 sixes. In fact, 4 deliveries and 2 sixes. Projected score 99.
Some can. What's your projected score?
I just feel they are running somewhere between 90 to 100 probably.
Most probably. I think that's a fair assessment. In the air, but then safe. This is a bit of a challenge. You know, this game is like, I mean, look, the batsmen are throwing the bat at anything that comes their way. And it's high time that the bowlers sort of like realize, look, we can't let them get away and get close to that 100 mark. Either the keeper is making an error or the fieldsmen are making an error today. Iran, I'm surprised. I don't think I've seen the best of fielding today in comparison to what I saw yesterday.
Exactly. Not the best day for the fielders out there. Not sure if they're feeling the heat because it's been a sunny day here in Colombo today comparing to yesterday's weather. It's been a very bright day. Should go. It should go. All the way she goes. Massive shot down the ground. Hit through the line. And that will definitely pay off. That's a big shot. 7 overs gone. 72 for the loss of 4 wickets.
I think you're right. They could get between 95 to 100, and that could be very competitive. And what we've seen is playing through the line being the feature.
If Harshant continues in this manner, I'm sure they are going to get more than 100 runs because they do have a power play over left as well. So they could take it any time from this over onwards. So there'll be just the 3 fielders outside this in a ring. And
on hindsight, do you think they'll go in for the power play for the penultimate over? Here is a look at the scorecard so far. 72 for 4 in 7 overs. We seem some exquisite batting.
I just feel Dulan Abhinayaka's wicket was the turning point if Unilever might end up in a lower total than what they would have liked to be. Because that run out was suicidal looking at the way he was batting out there.
Exactly. And not the right thing. Your coaches always tell you from school days, when the ball is in the hand of the fielder, you don't run. Simple as that. And see how true the basics are. But, okay, lots of things have changed a mile from the MCC coaching book of yesterday. But today it's a little bit different. Cricket itself is different. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Looks like Unilever has taken the power play and we have the opening fast bowler, Shehan, back in action. Very, very successful first over. He managed to grab a wicket, considered just the 1 run. Looking at Asanka Silva, give me a glimpse of Charith Asalanka, the way he's batting and short in stature as well.
Yeah. I think you spotted him quite well, yeah. But it's a wide, yep. Short in stature, the wide stance he takes, legs apart, you know. He would tell himself, if I can beat 50% of Charita Sri Lanka now, I could plug this bowler into mid-wicket or to the cow corner for a couple of sixes, you know.
So looking at the field, it's very clear. It's all going to be short.
Yep.
You don't have anyone down the ground. We have a deep square leg, one at deep third man and one at deep backward point.
Yep.
So it's going to be short.
Definitely. And that's what he's exactly doing. But he's got to get his length right, not go down the leg side and tie himself as a bowler, bowling those extra deliveries, Iran.
Exactly. Lots of wides, lots of extras. This time beautifully played straight to the field at extra cover. A meter onto his left, that would have been a boundary. Unfortunately, that was not the case, just a single.
He's controlled this power play over very well because in 3 balls, he's given away only 1 run. Isn't it? I mean,
great bowling.
Yeah, great bowling, good bowling. I hope I'm not speaking too early because he's got another 3 balls to go. Hope he won't get himself thumped here and there.
So these 3 deliveries will be very, very interesting because we have Harishant on strike. He's 21 of 7 deliveries. So he'll be fancying his chances to go after. He knows a short delivery is coming his way.
Oh, played pretty well.
Oh!
Not in the gap.
If it was a direct hit.
Yeah, if it was a direct hit, he could have been in trouble.
But what was nice about that was, Brian, he was expecting the short delivery and he was waiting for that. That's the reason he managed to flat bat it, but unfortunately he couldn't get it over the infield.
Get it over the infield. Good thinking. Let's see what he does with this delivery. There again. Push to mid-wicket. Slapping it away. This has been a very decent over. Taking into account that he's bowling the power play over. There's been no boundary hits so far.
Just 4 runs considered, including the wide delivery. It has been a very, very good over.
I mean, you can't ask for anything better, but let's not talk too early. I hope he won't get thumped.
Just the last delivery.
In the last delivery, yeah.
Right, then we can see the long off dropping back. Looks an interesting field. Not sure what the delivery is going to be. Right.
India. Could he be out caught? Now there goes another drop catch.
I don't think we are too surprised looking at these drop
exactly,
catches.
Iran, but then, I mean, look, this is it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, because I was excited yesterday when I saw those catches taken. Some of the catches were very difficult, but then taken very well. We'll come back to that after this over because we're going for a overs break. We'll come right back. Yeah, welcome back. Iran, I was talking about the catches that were taken yesterday. I mean, some of the catches were much more challenging than what we've seen today. But today's been a different ball game. I think all teams have been dropping catches. Yeah?
Exactly. Being a fielder, you really need to put all your effort to hang on to a catch because the bowler is running really hard, putting out his energy, throwing out all his efforts, trying to grab a wicket and restrict the runs as much as possible. And when an opportunity is created, you need to grab it with both hands.
Absolutely. That's taken on the full and not made use of, actually. 77 for 4. I think McLarens will need to target 95 up front. Yep. Don't think too much ahead because that's where I think teams sort of miss out because when they have that target, pre-higher target. That'll be a wide. This is not what the doctor ordered for. You're bowling your 9th over, and let's face it, it's hot and humid. You're going to keep your fielders longer out on the field, and you're going to bowl an extra ball yourself, so keep it between the stumps.
That was spot on.
That is spot on. I think he must have heard me, He must have heard me. That was a very good delivery and a dot delivery.
Dot delivery at this stage, in your words, is golden dust, Brian.
It's golden dust, because you're coming in for the last 2 overs and you create, let's say, 2-3 dot deliveries in an over. That's punched down the ground, but then there is cover. Deep extra cover in pursuit. Beautiful bit of fielding. Good interception. Batsman are through for 2 runs. So good cricket all around.
$81 for the loss of 4 wickets. Just the 9 legal deliveries left for this innings. At least 15 runs. They would really fancy their chances. That's a full toss taken on the full.
Yep, that again, there is cover. Good running between the wickets if they get there. Yes, and a bit of fumble in the field. I was talking, Alan Wilkinson. Yep.
That's very smart running.
Very smart running. You make a muddle of it, you get run over. Alan Wilkinson was once telling all our viewers once that it was 5 good deliveries by, I don't know who the bowler was, but he said, I'll not trust him for the final ball, and he was spot on. The final ball, he got thumped. I can't remember who the bowler is. And then they all had a laugh. Oh, that'll be a wide, I reckon. Wait for the umpire signal. Nope. It's given it in. Yep, and they all had a good laugh. He said, and then he said, that's the unpredictability of this game, 5 good deliveries, 5 dot balls, and then the last ball, you can spoil the entire over.
Talking about unpredictability, I just wanted to recall, because we are talking about bowlers as well. Stuart Broad in 2007, Brian, was pumped for 6 sixers. And he had to face all criticism. Yep. But look how he ended his career as a legendary bowler in England. Next to James Anderson, he retired as a legend. So that's how beautiful this game is. It doesn't really matter how you walk in. It really matters how you walk out of the game.
That's why they call it the game of glorious uncertainties, as they say. I've not had the opportunity of talking to Stuart Broad, but then he was not much of a talker, I was told. But, he and his fellow bowler, I can't get his name right now.
James Anderson.
James Anderson, yeah. They were legends of English cricket, isn't it? The amount of hard work they did for England, And James Anderson even played when he was 40, if my memory serves me right.
41 years.
41, yeah. And
He's
imagine,
a fast bowler at 41.
Yeah, imagine at that age to come. And you're talking about not club cricket, you're talking about international cricket. Bowling against top batters in the world at that age is fantastic.
Decent partnership between these two batters. 30 runs of 20 deliveries. Brian, what's your money on the last over?
Well, they really should be going for it. I think I would still keep 95 as my target base. But this is not gospel. I'm already wrong. First ball being pumped into mid-wicket for 4 runs.
Beautiful shot. The beauty of that shot was he really did not try to hit it hard. He just placed it over that infield at square leg.
Spot on. That's what you call good cricket, It's not going around just swinging the bat at everything, but then the placement. That is very good batting indeed. Excellent. I was wonderful to see shots like that being executed.
Talking about the short deliveries, Aravind De Silva taking on the West Indian tall bowlers. You have to talk about it, Brian, with your experience.
My God, I'll tell you. I've seen miracles off that man's bat. I've seen miracles off his bat.
You have to explain about the hooks and the pulls he used to play against those legendary West Indian bowlers.
My God, he was just exceptional. You must speak to Odds, another one that's been pumped down the ground for 4 more runs.
What a beautiful shot, Brian.
Exactly. What was he doing all this time?
It shows that he's a class batsman, because the previous ball, it was short and it was a pull. And the next delivery, it's full, and he punches you down the ground between the two fielders at long on and long off. You couldn't ask for a better shot from a batter after punching one through square leg.
Ian Bishop, just imagine Ian Bishop and his ball head. Remember I asked Ian Bishop once, I was the media manager for Sri Lanka cricket then. Brilliant.
Beautiful.
Absolutely class. He has proved me completely wrong. He's pumped 14 runs here. And he's got his team up to 99. This is very good batting indeed. Absolutely. Carnal. You can't bowl there.
Saving the best for the last.
Exactly. And into his arc, right? He's looking for runs. He's got the eye in and you bowl in his arc and then get pumped down the ground. Yeah, so getting back to Ian Bishop, and I was a media manager, and we was just suddenly sat down, and then I think Aravind called me for something. I answered the phone and I just told Ian Bishop, Aravind is online. He smiled and I said, you want to talk to him? He said yes, and I think the both of them spoke something. I don't know what they said. And Ian Bishop was, this is the way he shakes his head and laughs. And then end of the conversation. We'll just get back to that after this particular delivery.
Beautiful again. Down she goes.
Lovely.
All the way for 6.
This is carnal, mate. This is carnal. Fantastic. See ball, hit ball. That's the theory.
This is absolute great hitting. This is really, I can't say it power hitting, Brian. It's classical cricket shot.
I am going to give up my predicting. I tell you what. This batter has changed my entire concept of how one can get back to the last ball of an over.
Beautiful.
This is beautiful batting. To me, anytime I'm the adjudicator, man of the match, mate, for this last over that we have faced so far. So don't let me down. I hope you'll sort of improvise the last 2 balls.
45 or 16, Brian. I don't think he's letting you down again.
I hope not, yeah. I hope he'll just keep going. Fantastic batsmanship. This is class. I want to watch him before I say what Ian Bishop told me after the conversation he had with Aravind on that phone. Up. Appeal, no. Definitely. No nick there. So that's a dot ball. Yeah, and then Ian Bishop, he stubbed his ball head. And I said, Bishi, what's up, mate? And I suddenly recollected how I bowled to Aravind. I said, why? He said, no, in the Caribbean, man, I pitched short, took me to the cleaners and told me never bowl short to me again.
It was just bread and butter for Aravind, isn't it?
He was just a God-given gift to Sri Lanka. Simple as that.
Right in the last delivery. That's
a wide. Oh, no.
Oh! Interesting.
It's all happening wide, so they've got 3 runs in that last ball.
Brian,
they? Yeah.
What's the cricketing rule with regards to that? Both batters were in the same end and the wickets were taken down.
Yeah, but if they didn't cross basically, right? So the batter at that end did not move, so he's at the popping crease.
Yes.
So if he's out, if the ball hit the wicket at the non-striker's end, the man who ran is out. It's very simple as that. That's a clear rule. That's a rule that is in force at the moment.
Great awareness of the game.
Yeah, they've got themselves on to 107.
Even my money went on Wayne. I was predicting somewhere between 90 to 100.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden we saw this batter coming and opening his shoulders. God, look, he looks an exciting guy.
22 runs already picked up in this over.
Harshamantha. Absolutely fantastic. That was wonderful to see. Right, the last ball coming up. Now, swing and a miss. Now, that could be a run out. Yeah, it is, obviously. So, that's the end of the 10 overs, 107 for the loss of 4 wickets. I think they have got a score that they can defend.
Absolutely. It has been actually the story of this tournament, especially the matches that happened here at the Nalanda Cricket College grounds, because there were 3 games that happened yesterday. All 3 games were won by the team that batted first. It was the same result today morning as well. And I just feel that it might be the same, but we cannot predict anything. 10 overs done. Here's a quick look at the batting card. For me, it was Harishant Rajendran, the special man who walked out. He had saved it for the last over. Managed to grab 45 of 17. 5 sixes, Brian.
Absolutely. I was just looking at only the sixes column. Shows that he can bat. And those were not slog shots as such, and all cricketing strokes. Now I wish this young man could bat up the order. Spend some time, give him a little bit more strike, and here is the bowling card.
For me, the pick of the bowlers, I would say, was Shehan Chandaruan, the opening bowler. He did really well. He managed to give away just the 7 runs and grab that one important wicket. Most importantly, both 2 overs that he bowled were during the power play overs. So that's the key highlight for me. And look at that 5th wicket partnership, Brian. 52 runs between those 2 batters for the 5th wicket.
Just gave it up a little bit, isn't it? I mean, they were bowling so well. Now look at the highlight package which you can run through with you.
Absolutely. There was a first wicket, unfortunately. It was beautifully set up. We just remembered that first wicket beautifully set up by Shehan. And since then, it was a balanced game between both teams. I remember they were at around 68 for the loss of 4 wickets at the end of 7 overs, where both teams looked very balanced until that last couple of overs carnage by the Unilever's batters. And what a shot that was. It was almost fetched from the wide crease. And there were some beautiful shots. In fact, there were some slogged shots as well. Especially that one was taken beautifully outside the off stump once again and belted all over square leg. And it was all good cricket and a suicidal run out as well during the batting innings. And those were some beautiful, beautiful shots played by Harshant.
Well, we hope you did enjoy the highlight package. Target 108. We're going for a breather when you come back. Okay, we're having a summary.
Beautiful shots, and that was the last over, Brian. He really took the bowler into the cleaners. Beautiful shots all around the ground.
And this was the comedy of errors in the last over, but that happens. All part and parcel of the game. Right, our producer has asked us to be on standby. I thought that we're going to wrap up, but then it's 107 for 5 at the moment. Unilever's batting first. Now we've been given a short break. That's wonderful. We'll take a short break, come back when the inning starts.
මොනවද පේන්නේ කියමු
CDBFD
දැන් කොහොමද
CDBFD
ඔයාට කන්නාඩි ඕනේ නෑ හොඳට දුරදිග පේනවා
දැනෙන පොලියක් දෙන CDB එක ඩිපොසිට් වෙනස්
මොනවද පේන්නේ කියමු.
CDBFD
දැන් කොහොමද?
CDBFD
ඔයාට කන්නාඩි ඕනේ නෑ. හොඳට දුර දිග පේනවා.
දැනෙන පොලියක් දෙන CDP එක ඩිපොසිට් වෙනස්.
Welcome back. Beautiful sunny afternoon. 108 being the target. And I'll tell you, it is not a Herculean task. Please don't get me wrong. 108 runs needed in 60 deliveries, and McLarens will have to make it good. Eran, I really would like to have a change to see the chasing side winning for a change. What do you reckon?
Exactly. I mean, since yesterday, all 4 games, we have witnessed the team batting first. They have just run through the team that had come to bat second. So it would be really nice to see if we could have the team batting second win this match for a change for us as well.
I think Unilevers will not give us any of their groceries if they meet the two of us, because our preconceived idea of getting a win for the side that's batting second, well, all part and parcel of the game, isn't it? Anyway, Unilevers, wish you all the very best. You need to defend 107. And remember, but it is also a gettable score, because there is no worry about what the pitch does, because it's predictable bounce on a matting. And let's see as to how well McLarens can bat.
We have Dulan, who is opening the bowling for Unilever. The tall, well-built Dulan. We saw what he was capable with the bat, and here we go, the first delivery. Oh, yes, please. That's a lovely shot down the ground to start the innings. Beautiful shot. You couldn't ask for a better start for the McLarens.
Yeah, cricketing stroke, isn't it? Up to the arc, got his front foot out, played through the line. This is what is needed. I mean, Iran, I've been telling you, these are the strokes that, it's so easy on the eye, isn't it? When you watch it, like, fantastic. Let's see what he does here. Now, a swing and a miss.
That was in the arc as well, Brian, looking at the shot that he tried playing. It's just that he should have played it over the offside rather than trying to go down the ground.
He was trying to turn the face of the bat slightly. Play through the line. That's all you need to do. I mean, it's a big target that you're chasing. Get to the pitch of the ball. Let's watch him here. That will be 4 runs, is it? Bonus 4 runs. Yeah, it is. Thick outside edge. Third man into play. 4 runs given. Yep, doesn't matter how it comes. Main thing is they are on target, isn't it? I mean, the run rate target. I hope the two of us are not talking too early, because if you see some wickets start tumbling, we might have to be less enthusiastic, because we are looking for a chase win. That could be called a wide. Yep. Who is the biggest, who is the run chaser? I mean, in your cricketing life, whom you have time for? I think I phrased it incorrectly. The man who is a perfectionist in a run chase.
I'm not very sure if you would agree with this, Brian, but for me, it is Virat Kohli.
Absolutely. I was expecting that answer from you. Because look at his record. I mean, there are two things to that. Okay, of course, his skill and talent.
Yep.
We'll come back to that after this delivery. 9 for no loss.
Beautiful again.
In the air, could be caught. No, but it's just over the bowler's head. Batsmen have gone through for a couple of... This is good running. Don't hesitate. Take the run. I mean, that's the trouble. He did hesitate. A couple of runs, yep. And you can see the enthusiasm. If you can listen to them shout and cheer for their team, this is good. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm talking about skill levels is one thing. I mean, that's very important, and his stroke play. But there's something more to it. The way he plans it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Really. So the day that Virat caught my eye as a chase master was the day he thrashed Sri Lanka where they chased down 300 plus runs in 37 overs, if you remember that game.
Absolutely. I mean, I think he took Malinga to the cleaners.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the day he really cleaned off Malinga.
Yeah, I mean, so cardinal rule is the importance of planning your chase, right? So that's why he's, I think, a cut above the rest. You know, look at even the IPL. I mean, they used to always say, look, with the run chase king, no score is defendable because he can chase it. You know. Wonderful cricketer.
Especially when it comes to ODI run chasing. He's a master of it. He
knows
that.
He knows the art. But he's retired from Test cricket. I heard he's a resident in England. Okay. And you'll be surprised I never spoken to him all my life.
How unfortunate.
Unfortunate, yeah. I mean, one day I was talking to Mahendra Singh Dhoni. I told him, MS, look, I need to talk to this guy. He said, yeah, Brian, why don't you come to the dressing room? We'll have a chat with him. You know, that time he was very young. Oh, good throw. Would have got him out, but the batsman threw for a single. Played it rather late. That's the type of stroke that, I mean, you need a skill level to play that type of stroke. I mean, Iran, because look, you've got to wait for the ball to come onto the bat, open the face to the bat at the right time. You know, it's all about timing. It's all about eye contact.
Intentions have been very clear, especially from Hiruna's end. They are going to target the bowlers from the word go, which they really should be doing, because you can't let it happen during the last few overs. You can't let it hang around. You should be going from the beginning if you need to chase down these kind of totals.
Oh, it's a good delivery. Well, the wicket-keeper's been having a bit of a problem.
That was express praise, Brian.
It was, yeah. But I mean, some of these bowlers have been quick. I mean, today I've been watching a few bowlers. I mean, I think you both of us agreed, right? We've seen about 2 or 3 bowlers who are very nippy.
Comparing to yesterday, we have seen some very decent bowlers with very good technique and long run-up, especially. We wouldn't expect to see in this level of cricket, but they have been very professional. What a shot that was.
But then, look, it's the ramp shot that we see in modern-day cricket. Wait for it, open the face, just let it go off the blade.
So when you're dived into this game of cricket, Brian, when you see a player, execute a shot, you could quickly recall a player. So when you look at that uppercut, I know whom you're going to name.
To me, Mahela Jayawardene.
Absolutely. He was one of the masters of that.
Master. He was a master at it.
Tried it again, but fails to make contact. One more run added to the total.
You know, while we travel in the team bus, Mahela used to sit at the rear and no one sits near. I mean, senior players, we don't go and sit next to them and, they've got their privacy. And then when Mahela used to sit at the rear, Murali sits somewhere in the middle of the bus. I think Murali is always seated with Tilan Samaraveer, if my memory serves me right. They sit together. Watch this. Wrapped him on the pad. That's running away for a single. And I remember Murali asking Mahela about his innings. Mahela wouldn't open his mouth. He would just keep his mouth shut. Right? Then Murali tries to annoy him and says, say something. Just keeps his mouth shut. Doesn't say a word. So humble. But later on, someone told me Mahela feels no point talking to Murali about how I scored my runs because he won't understand.
Understand, exactly.
Right? Now, those are, I would say memories that I'll carry back to my grave, I think. And anytime I get an opportunity to tell my granddaughter, if my granddaughter asks me, Grandpa, what are your experiences? These are stories I'll tell her. I mean, I'm talking about player behavior and player temperament,
Absolutely. As we speak, that completes over number 2. McLaren, 16 for the loss of no wickets.
Well, the crowds are here not to watch cricket, but then they've all come for, I think, some extra classes. Wonderful to see when... I love to see crowds in a cricket ground, I've been very fortunate to see some great crowds in India. Absolutely. It's unbelievable. I mean...
You can't ask for a better crowd.
I used to feel very sorry for people who want to buy tickets. In the air, but then safe. That will run away to the third man fence for 4 runs.
At the moment, runs are coming thick and fast. 2.1 overs done, 20 runs. They are up and par with the required run rate.
Yep.
They need to continue in this merry way.
Simple. Consistency. That's what they need. They can't afford to lose a wicket under any circumstances now, Iran, because, that will hunch them back, frankly. So try and bat the next 2 to 3 overs. Oh, there we go. When I see those dot deliveries. And there you are. You heard what that gentleman said, dot ball adu karanda. Very important, Very, very important. That is a pertinent point, yeah? You have to reduce those dot balls right now, because you can get into a shell when you sort of get to closer orders. Very well played indeed. That will get him a single.
The message was very well executed by the batter.
Yup, very well executed.
So the plan is clear. Hiruna is going to go after the bowlers and Lahiri is going to rotate the strike.
Lovely. You hunt in pairs, don't you?
Absolutely.
Why was Wasim and Bakar so successful in world cricket? Because they hunted in pairs.
Absolutely. And talking about pairs, I would definitely love to quote Kulasekara and Malinga as well.
Oh,
perfect pair. Kulasekara would do all the hard work. Malinga would come and dart in those Yorkers and grab all the wickets under his name.
You know that Jasprit Bumrah had recently said, I'm not the king of Yorkers. The king of Yorkers is Lasith Malinga. And we should call Kulasekara Kule. We'll come back to that after this delivery. Outside the off stump. That's the dot delivery. Avoid the dot deliveries, quote unquote. Even the spectators are saying that, Kulasekara used to be a warrior, no? You should just peg that line and length, and then send in that in-dipper,
You have to recall that match against Australia where he ran through the Australian batting card with those huge, massive in-swingers. He managed to grab 6 wickets, if I have not mistaken. That was a beautiful game, Brian. I love to watch the highlights of that game.
Tell you what, I sometimes, I get very emotional when I think of the good old days.
Yep.
Being with the type of cricketers that we mentioned about so far outside the off stump yet again. That's another wide. Now, they're feeding the batters with wides here. Avoid it, mate. You're going to spend more time in the park and your fielders are not going to enjoy it. So try to get the delivery wicket to wicket if you can. That's what's got to be done. Let's see how it goes, this delivery.
That's a beautiful shot down the ground, but not the distance. Just the one run. The bowler is really, really not happy about the commitment from the long off fielder. He really wanted the fielder to run in. At least try to get to the ball for a catch.
Sure. 25 runs on the board. 3 overs completed. I'm talking about in the early 90s, 95, 96, when we won the World Cup. And at that time, I used to supply, in the sense that I was working for MTV and NBC. I was a director in charge of sports. So, the sports department came under me. And I used to give Sri Lanka cricket team all the footage they wanted. And I remember, people don't realize the sleepless nights that both Arjuna and Aravinda used to sit and preview those tapes. Burning midnight oil to bring about a plan for next day's play. All those things, I'm an eyewitness to it. So, we'll come back to that after this delivery. Oh, that's a thump. What a thump. Brilliantly picked up. Glorious 6.
That was a brilliant shot. That was effortless. He just came a couple of steps down the ground and he just went through the line. Once again, it's simple theory. You just go through the line, look at the replay, couple of steps. It was not a shot with effort, I would say. It just went through the line and the ball did the rest. Beautiful shot, beautiful execution by Lahiru Amarasekara.
Yeah, so I mean, so that's what international cricket is all about. Around the planning. I mean, there's a lot of planning work to be done. But I suppose all these players who are now playing in this semi-professional cricket will soon, I mean, because cricket is getting very competitive no matter what tournament you play, right? Because things have improved, things have turned a lot, changed a lot. And sooner rather than later, they also will be having their coaches to sit and plan out strategies,
Exactly, spot on, Brian. Coming back to the game, 76 required of 39 deliveries. Opens up and tries for a wild swing. Fails to make contact again. Hiruna, he did play some beautiful shots in the very first over. Proper cricketing shots. But since then, he has tried to really swing it hard, taking his eye away from the ball. He shouldn't be doing that.
In the air for a while, but falling safe. It's wonderful, when you're encouraged by your dressing room.
It's great. I mean, the players out there, they feel the presence of their team.
Exactly.
And it really motivates them out there. They're supporting them not to take the second run if it's a risky run.
Yeah.
It's all good engagement between the batters out there and the teammates.
Brilliant. And that'll fetch him a run. So rotation of strike as usual. You're surprised that I'm a short-east man, no? A lot of people have told me. Not a very good eater. Anyway, getting into some international cricket. Today we have England hosting India. And I want to keep my eyes open on that game as well because that will be very competitive. And remember that Sri Lanka is also will have to gear themselves up against Bangladesh because they need to try and win the test at SSC. Lots of cricket coming up here in Sri Lanka. And of course, we do have our own mercantile Tier B games. Right, here we go. 74 runs needed in 36 balls. This could swing anyway, isn't it? I mean, watching the batting so far.
Right now, with 10 wickets in hand, the batting team would fancy themselves. But I'm just a little bit concerned about the run rate. It's just 8.5 and the required run rate is about 12 at the moment. They shouldn't let that run rate hit the 14s and the 15s when it starts to get really hard.
Exactly. Oh, he's bowled him. As we talk, played across the line of that delivery. And this is the breakthrough they were looking for because this pair looked quite dangerous. They were improvising. They were belting some wonderful shots. So 37 runs for the loss of 1 wicket. Let's watch it on the replay. Left arm up. That was actually a good delivery. Back of a length. And you see the batsman stepping out of the popping crease, trying to drive it on the up. Well, I suppose these are strokes that Iran you can expect in this version of the game.
Absolutely, Brian. And also, being a fast bowler, what else could you ask when you see a stump flying off the ground? That's the best feeling you could have as a fast bowler. You can't ask for better.
Any form of the game. It can be competitive, it can be international, or it can be semi-competitive. That's the fast bowler's delight, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Because you run up there and, I was speaking to Sunil Gavaskar and we're having a little chat and I asked him, I said, what's the greatest pleasure you have? His cheeky smile, huh? Just imagine. He
Absolutely.
He said, Brian, just imagine how I used to annoy both Jeff Thompson and Dennis Lilly. They used to come running, panting, and I would just lunge forward and let that ball go to the wicket keeper. And they get very annoyed,
Right, and here we have the new batter, Inesh Chamikara. Not a very good strike rate. He would really want to work on that strike rate. And talking about all of those fast bowlers and the passion they bring into the game, we really can't keep Pretley and Dale Steyn away. When they get a wicket, when they bowl a batter, the passion they bring into the game, you can't explain it in words, Brian.
But then you meet them in person. I'll come back to this after this delivery. Outside the off stump, dot delivery, swing and a miss. Yeah, but if you meet Brett in person, he's a music lover.
Okay, great.
And I used to always think, oh my God, how on earth can you be so deadly? I've not met Dale Steyn in all honesty. Or just said hi to him, but then like not got him for a conversation like Brett. But Brett, bit of a baby-faced.
Yep.
And loves his music. You know, I heard he plays the guitar very well. Let's watch this delivery. Yeah, outside the off stump. That's one way he says that he relaxes.
Okay.
But on the field, I mean, just imagine those deadly deliveries, man.
Brilliant.
I mean, fantastic, isn't it? I mean,
the passion they bring into the game, especially when you get a batter bowled, the passion, the energy he throws out by celebrating the wicket, that's what, make him really unique, the way they celebrate it.
Especially, I think he was brought up in Perth, right, at Wacker.
Yep.
That's why he was so very deadly, you know.
Oh. A caught and a bold chance goes begging.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised because the amount of catches that we've seen being dropped. So I would excuse the bowler. Now look, they've got themselves into a shell all of a sudden, right? 4.3 overs 35 for the loss of 1 wicket. I think the loss of the opening batter just got them into a shell. And actually, Unilevers are dragging this back beautifully. I might be wrong, but then looks a little bit run making. Well, slightly restricted. Let's see what he can do with this delivery. Now, there you go again. Thanks to the keeper, you get a run. We'll wait for the umpire's signal. Is he going to signal as a wide? No. It's a bye. The keeper needs to pick up those deliveries, not give them. Try and make it a dot delivery. That's the idea behind it.
Absolutely. 72 runs required of 32 deliveries. Looks a bit of a hard task, but there again, speaking about the format of the game, it is definitely gettable, but they can't get themselves into a shell. They really need to work through this and come out of it, because they are just left with one more power play over as well. And Hirun Anjan, the opening batter, he's still out there. He looked a little bit positive when he started, but since the 2 shots he played in the first over, he did not make contact, and that is the exact reason he's trying to play those cheeky little shots.
It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. He's trying to use the pace of the ball, basically. But I feel that his feet was nowhere there, Iran. You're going to just put the bowler on top, giving those dot deliveries. Try to play some proper cricketing strokes. Like that. But it's in the air. Could be out caught. Oh, brilliantly taken. Absolutely fantastic. See what pressure does to you.
Right now, Brian, I just feel Unilever, they're all over it, because the both opening batters are back in the pavilion. And especially that last over, I would call it the game-changing over if Unilever win the game. Because just the 1 run considered and 2 important wickets grabbed, you couldn't ask for a better over from a fast bowler, especially when they are chasing a huge total of 106 runs, in fact.
Yeah, in my mindset, I think I did make mention, it looks as though they are dragging it back slightly. I felt so too. I think that dismissal. See how the weather changes. I always say sometimes cricket is like the weather we have in England. You know how the English weather is. I mean, nothing is predictable. You know.
It changes in a blink of an eye.
I'm telling you, I've had so many experiences going to different venues. Everything looks tickery-boo, and all of a sudden, look, the clouds open up. But the advantage we have in England, though, I mean, like, not we, when I lived there, is that it doesn't rain for too long.
Yep.
And the grounds are so good, the drainage system is exquisite. So, I mean, 10 minutes rain won't affect at all. You know, they get the grounds ready very, very quickly because the drainage is so very good.
Talking about the grounds and the groundsmen, you really can't keep the Sri Lankan ground staff.
Oh, yeah, they are about the best in the world, I think. Yeah, of course. Fantastic.
I mean, I was out there one day, Brian, watching one of the games of the Lankan Premier League at R. Premadasa.
Okay.
And rain suddenly came down. It was pouring down. It was blattering down for almost 1 hour. And believe me or not, once the rains were gone, the play resumed in 45 minutes.
Incredible. I mean, of course, now people have started respecting and giving all credit to the ground staff. I think Sri Lanka brought about a new dimension in ground covering, so very quickly. That's put away, but then there again, straight to the man at mid-wicket. So he'll just get... singles are not going to help this task of 108, that's for sure. So we are going to have another predictable win here, I think. I'm sorry I'm talking too early, but then look at the scores and you'll know what I'm talking about. 108 being the target. We are into over number 6, 38 for 2.
And that has been
played. You need shots like that. You need shots like that to change the complex of the game.
Beautiful shot. Not much of an effort put, but he made sure that he placed it beautifully between that mid-wicket and the long-on fielder. They will need multiple shots like this, Brian, if they are to win this game, because they have really put themselves into a shell. And I feel this should be the over because they need to go really hard after the spinner. That has been skied. I just feel this might be the third wicket, and it is a very good catch taken at the deep mid-wicket area. And that's the third wicket down for the McLaren team.
The intent was right because the fielder ran into the ball, kept his eye on the ball, the most important thing, and drop it, watch off the skyline. So, I'm not trying to say the writing is on the ball, but Iran is going to be a challenge, Iran, to get to 108 from here in, because you lost 3 wickets, and there you can see the catch being taken. The key to that success in grabbing that is keeping the eye on the ball till the ball drops into your palm,
Yeah, perfectly well judged catch. And talking about the uniqueness of this game, Ryan, the problem is when you go down, you do not have any kind of time to recover. You can't just sit back, okay, let's plan the next couple of overs out, let's recover from this situation. You can't do that in T10. If it's a one day or a test, you could do it. Even in a T20, you can take at least an over or maybe 1.5 overs to recover. Looking at the target at 66 required from 26 deliveries, so you hardly have any time to recover.
Look, it looks Herculean, isn't it? Absolutely. You're spot on when you say that. Let's watch this delivery. There we go. A wide. I think lots of wides have been leaked by Unilevers. Nevertheless, McLarens should be kicking themselves. They got themselves to a decent start, but I think they lacked a little bit of consistency.
Spot on. Tilan Pereira looks like he's going to smack every delivery out of the ground. And just a run added to the total.
I hate to say this, sometimes, Iran, you have to go after the bowling. You got no choice. As commentators, especially me, I'm not talking about you. I can get critical at times, saying swing and a miss, swing and a miss. You know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly.
But that's how it goes. Is that another catch? No, it's just dropped shots at the fieldsman at the cow corner. Batsman threw for a single. But I was thinking about what I've been talking last night. I was sitting at home watching some rugby, and I thought to myself, I keep harping swing and a miss, but look at the mindset of the batter who's out there, because he's got no choice. Here's the scorecard. Doesn't look very healthy from my angle. What do you reckon?
Same here, Brian. They did get a good start in the very first over, and since then it has been all a downfall. Just the 2 opening batters, but unfortunately Hirun Anjana managed to score 12 of 14 deliveries, which cannot be accepted in this format of cricket. Bowlers, it has been the bowlers' story for the day's game. Asanka Silva, for me, managed to grab 2 wickets for just the 1 run considered. That was the over which changed the game, Brian.
Exactly. He's been fantastic. So talking about the swing and the miss thing, right? We now come to the mindset of the batter, But little do one realizes that how important that dot ball is.
Exactly.
And even if you bowl a wide, look, you're letting your side down because you're going to bowl another delivery, So that's a challenge in this format of the game. Let's face it. And even in semi-tournaments, semi-professional tournaments, players have to start understanding that,
Spot on.
That's beautifully played off the back foot. Open face of the bat. He's just played through the line there. See away enthusiasm. Epa, don't run. So that is good news. They are getting enthusiastic, which is very nice. And this game needs a thing called spectator support,
I mean, the spectators for me plays a major role when it comes to the players in the middle as well, Brian, because when you're out there in the middle, you feel so much of pressure, but when you see some spectators supporting you, cheering you, you feel that you get yourself cheered up. Maybe that might definitely help you put down the pressure you're in as well.
I can tell you something that sometimes when we are in the dressing room, I'm just talking, I was media manager, so I'm with the team. So in the dressing room, some of the players keep peeping out. And I always ask myself, where are they looking? And then a little bird told me, I can't mention the name of the person who told me this. He said, Brian, look, they're looking to see how many spectators have come to the grounds.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, that would definitely up their levels.
Motivate them.
Yep.
And that's why, most cricketers love, now see India.
They play for spectators. They play for spectators.
Yeah, exactly. They see their crowds, they are a different outfit. Yesterday a friend of mine was saying, Brian, in one of your podcasts, I'll come to that after this delivery. Oh, brilliantly played. That is a wonderful shot. To me, that almost looked the shot of the day off the back foot.
Absolutely. That was really hammered out of the bat. Like, the fielders, they hardly had any time to move towards the ball because it just went in a flash to the boundary, couple of bounces into the fence. Good shot.
So India made 471 runs. I think they were bowled out for. We'll come back to that after this delivery. Down the leg side.
I just heard that.
And you heard it?
Yes, absolutely. I was just wondering.
You got ears. You got wonderful eardrums there. Nicked it, gone. So, more trouble. 52 for 4. So, I had one of my fans sending me a message. Brian, do you realize the amount of joy that the Indian batters have brought to we people who are come out of a very cold winter and we're just about enjoying the summer? I didn't reply him back because I know anyway India you get so much of support around the world,
Unfortunately, the big hitting Dylan Pereira has to make that long walk back to the pavilion. Just the 5 runs he managed to score.
Yep, that's a big loss. Absolutely big loss, I think.
56 of 19. I guess it's becoming tough right now for the McLarens. Unfortunately, we have to say that to chase down this total because 4 wickets down. Talking about that was out of nowhere. Almost hit one of our cameramen who are really supporting us, giving us these live pictures.
Yes, and our cameraman had a lovely smile on his face. He might have said, look, mate, I'm here to film you. Please don't hit my nut.
Lucky enough, he had a shade over his head.
Yeah, I'm telling you. You're lucky. I didn't realize that. Yeah, the shade saved him. Yeah.
And
no, but I've seen certain matches where the ballers hit the lens sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a very, very tough job standing out there almost 1.5 hours, a whole day, in fact.
Oh, my God. Iran, I'll tell you what, I feel very sorry for the cameraman because I have worked with them. And I can tell you, it's a thankless job. You have to be focused and then look at your concentration level, It's not easy. It's like the umpire out in the center,
Exactly. You need to really concentrate. You can't take your eye.
You can't take your eyes off, anything.
Some of the people, I would say, might not be highlighted during a cricket match. The cameramen, they really need to be appreciated for their efforts.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the support staff, I don't put the cameraman as support staff. They're obviously support staff of the producer. But even the support staff, no one knows the amount of work they do, behind the scenes, Iran. See?
That's it. This is the over. This is going to be the over. If they really need to pull things back. 49 of 16. I think it was a similar situation, Brian. We were talking during the previous game as well when there were 3 overs left.
Exactly. The 7th over was important, right? Because don't put pressure on the bowler bowling the penultimate. Oh, my God. Look at that. India, could he be out caught? No. That's gone a mile. Beautiful, beautiful hitting.
That
This
was
is good. Yeah.
that was clean as you like.
Clean as a whistle, they say. Super hit, no? I mean, to the arc, just went through with the stroke, and the confidence he had instead of getting it over the top. That's a beautiful hit.
As we were rightly speaking here up in the com box, this should be the over. 3 more deliveries left. At least a couple of sixes here would definitely help the course of the game.
That's in the air. It's falling short. There is no problem. But then, good running between the wickets.
Really
This
good
is
running.
Good running. Very good. I mean, you see the advantage is taking the first run very quickly, anticipating the second run. So he wants the hitter at the striker's end. Now, this is what makes the world of difference around, I mean, because without running blindly.
Exactly. I would say rather that's the game awareness. And look what that 2 runs did. Look what that 2 runs did.
They were able to fetch another 6. I don't think this game is over, mate.
Absolutely. So this was the over. If they had to do it, this was the over, and they are correctly executing it. And look at that shot. Beautiful down on one knees, and gave it everything he had over mid-wicket all the way for 6.
Tell you what, one more 6 in this over.
Things would be really interesting.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm trying to think. 1-6, 1 ball left, 1-6 in this over. I mean, Unilevers will just a little bit, get concerned. Let's watch this. Let's see.
This is gone.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Look at that. In the arc. What a shot. What a shot, mate.
Well, I just feel the batter predicted the bowler might drag it short because the previous delivery was on a fuller length.
Yep.
He pulled the length back,
And
he was waiting for that shot. Look at that. He rocks on and
beautiful.
smashes it.
Wonderful cricket. Score moves on to 80. Now we come to the penultimate over. You're talking about 28 runs now in the penultimate over. And it's also the power play over. Right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
So,
Brian, you were spot on. 1-6. And it was delivered.
Exactly. I just looked at it on hindsight, right? Because I thought, obviously they're not going to take the power play over in the final over. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
This
it's the
should be the
penultimate over, yeah? You're talking about 12 runs 12 balls in and 28 runs as the target. I think he's got to get a very good over in. Otherwise, we are going to see a different dimension in this game as the sun beats down at Nalanda cricket grounds here. The shadows have, the cloud cover has gone away. It's becoming hotter, which I don't like.
The good news for McLarens is, in fact, both these batters, they look very aggressive. So, no mark with the bat for both batters. They look very aggressive, especially Dinal. He smashed the very first delivery out the park. And Shehan showed us what he's capable of the previous delivery in the last over. The teammates are really supporting the batters out there, advising them what they should be doing.
I think they believe in themselves now. Right, look, if you can get about 10 runs here, 15 runs here, we are in with it, right?
15 runs of this over. That will leave you with 13 runs of the last over.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's a good delivery. Short of length. He had to reach for it.
You see, very good delivery.
Excellent delivery. That's what I just thought. That dot delivery is worth its weight in gold, honestly. In the air. That should be out caught. Oh, very well taken. He's taken that catch and a vital breakthrough. That is not what the doctor ordered for.
Indeed, Brian, that was a vital breakthrough because the batter who was taking the bowlers to the cleaners has been dismissed for 26 runs of 11 deliveries. But all credits to him, he gave his maximum for his team.
Yeah, you can only do what you can do while you're there and the type of bowling, the type of ball you get to hit. But I think the power play and the penultimate over might have played on his head as well because it's pressure. He gets a round of applause and rightly so.
Look how a wicket can change the momentum of the game,
Of
Brian.
course,
I mean,
I'm
start of
telling
the
you.
over, the
Yeah.
batting side were favourites,
Yep.
but immediately after the fall of the wicket, the bowling side might feel they are the favourites.
I just had something that ran into my mind. The dot delivery he bowled before this, where the ball sort of like tri-foot short,
Yep.
picked up a little bit. I thought for a moment that brought in a bit of a nerve to the batter.
Yep.
Because he was scared of dancing down the track. He was waiting for the bounce. That might have encouraged him to play from the crease.
Yep.
Not to try anything extraordinary. That could be a strong possibility. There we go. Yet again, another good delivery. Now this is good bowling.
He's bowling with some pace, Brian.
Yeah, and he's bowling the penultimate over Iran. So you get my point. So I think the correct horse for the correct course, they say.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that we saw during the first game as well. The
Yep.
penultimate over changed the game.
Absolutely. And look, another dot delivery goes by.
5 deliveries, 1 run, Brian.
You can't ask for anything more. Absolutely, sir. You got your game under control, that's for sure.
I just feel sorry, Brian, because we are having another game running away with the team that
Yeah.
batted
There we
first.
go. My God, this is an exquisite over. 1 run in the penultimate over. I'll tell you what, any captain will take it with lots of gesture of happiness. Well said, thank you very much indeed, sir. You've done your job. Even go back to the hutch now and relax. It's
Yep.
fine. You've done your job.
Absolutely. I just feel the game is done and dusted.
It is, yeah.
27
let's be honest.
runs.
I think 27 runs in 6 balls, unless we get some dolly drops. We've seen that being done before. So I'm not going to... but I still feel it will be a difficult task because we got this seamer who was pretty impressive. We saw him bowl earlier. Let's see whether they can keep these batters quiet.
27 runs required of 6 deliveries.
McLarens will have their work cut out. Up. Look, he's not an easy bowler to take to the cleaners. 2 runs. He wouldn't mind. The singles and the twins is no problem. It's the boundary hits that will worry them.
Absolutely. At this point, singles and the doubles will really not help the McLarens. They really need to go out the park.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Nah, they're not going anywhere. Sadly, they're not going anywhere. This is very good bowling. And they're bowling to a plan. They're bowling to their field. And I think from the penultimate over, which was the power play over, they got their act right. I mean, they had the correct bowlers, and they brought in the correct bowlers at the right time. And then I'll come out with a sterling performance. In all honesty, McLarens, good attempt, but I think Unilevers have been one step ahead.
Brilliant performance.
Absolutely. Look at that. That is with some pace.
Super express pace.
Exactly. The angle, and then the batter trying to sort of work you onto mid-wicket. Doesn't work that way. So, 3 more balls to go. I'm going to commit myself. This game is done and dusted, mate. I hate to say it, but that's how it is.
And looking at all of these results, the upcoming matches, especially maybe even this grounds or maybe any venue, I just feel any captain who is going to win the toss
will want to bat first.
Absolutely.
You got a very, very strong point there, Iran, because like you said earlier, scoreboard pressure, simple as that. Get to the target of 100 because you're not chasing, you're only building, right?
Yep.
And then you put the batter, the chasers on under pressure. Look at that, how many dot deliveries, right?
Exactly.
Swing and a miss, swing and a miss, swing and a miss. That's the frustration that comes in. So I think with 1 ball coming up, Iran, we could conclude that this game is done and dusted, and Unilevers have won this comprehensively. I would say by 15, 22 runs, and that's a lot of runs, especially in a T10 game, the margin. Up, okay, that will get him 4 runs. Welcome boundary, so 4 more to the total. It's all done and dusted. And McLarens 89 for 5 wickets in their allotted 10 overs in pursuit of 108 to win. And the umpires are flicking the bails off as we will be going in for lunch. But before that, Iran and I are not done with because we've got a highlight package coming up, Iran. over to you.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure. Once again, 5 to 7 minutes back, things were looking interesting when McLaren required 28 runs of 12 deliveries, but that penultimate over was the real game-changing over where he just conceded the 1 run and managed to grab that important wicket and to follow up brilliant final over as well. And looking at the scorecard, pick of the batters for me was Shehan Sandaruan, who came out really hard with 3 sixes, 26 of 11 deliveries. And apart from that, I don't think we could quote any other names that were really eye-catching, where Dinal the Hamburger tried really hard, where he scored 14 of 7 deliveries.
That's the bowling card. I mean, very impressive indeed. That was Asanka Silva, 3 for 14. I thought he was brilliant. He bowled the penultimate power play over. 3 for 30. I thought Dushanta Bandara Watta was a shade expensive, but the rest of the bowlers, well, had it in control. Lunchtime here at this grounds, but then I've been told by the producer, stay put, Brian, hang on to your sandwich. We're going to have the highlight package coming up there. Take a look at that. That's put away beautifully, using the pace of the ball. There again, playing it on the up, the ball in the air for a while, but then running away to short extra cover fence for 4 runs. Take a look at this stroke. I mean, that's taken on the half volley, punched down the ground. Good looking stroke. 4 more. And that's taken on the half volley. That's a hiker, isn't it? Look at that shot, Tehran. What do you think of that, mate? I mean, fantastic.
There were some brilliant shots.
Yeah.
And to add on to that, for the bowler's benefits, that wicket which flew away from the ground. And some beautiful shots from the lefty as well. She really tried it really hard, but unfortunately, he really couldn't make things happen for the team.
Whenever I see a catch being taken, I feel like telling the field, congratulations, mate. I mean, in all honesty, because the catching has been very poor today, no? Basically,
absolutely. I mean, that should be the rarest side of dropping a catch.
Yeah.
In our case, the rarest side has been taking a catch today.
No, I'll tell you what. I mean, see, Iran, there was another thing that I just realized it. I don't know whether you'll agree with me. When you watch too much of international cricket and when you are in commentary on international matches, you get used to that's a brilliant catch, yeah?
That was one of those brilliant catches taken.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you get used to, I would say, spectacular catches.
Catches,
right?
absolutely.
And sometimes, you set yourselves high standards and you expect the others also to set themselves high standards. Right, it's a win by 18 runs. And I think that's the summary. 107 for 5 in 10 overs. And all that McLarens could get was 89 for 5. They were in the hunt at one stage. But so be fate that the turning point cost them the loss.